The year was 1975. Los Angeles was the city of dreams, but hidden within the shimmering lights was a cursed darkness. Michael thought he was going there just to write a script, but he didn't know that what he would see that night wasn't a movie story, but a living, breathing nightmare. Were the cages of the old zoo truly empty? Or is something still waiting there for you? Before we step into the shadows, I highly suggest you check your locks, turn down the lights, and sit very, very still, because the nightmare begins now. The year was 1975. Los Angeles was glowing with the golden glamour of Hollywood. Record stores buzzed with rock and roll, and luxury cars lined the boulevards. But right in the middle of this city of lights lay a massive patch of darkness: Griffith Park. Our protagonist, Michael, had only a typewriter and an old white 1970 Dodge Challenger. Michael didn't know that tonight he wouldn't be writing a script, he would be living a nightmare. It was a Friday night in December. Michael drove up toward Griffith Park around 12:30 a.m. Driving aimlessly, Michael found himself deep within the park, near the abandoned old zoo. Though closed in 1966, the rusted iron cages and stone caves remained, silent, ghostly, and devoid of life. Michael parked his car on the shoulder. The silence was unnatural. He stepped out with a cigarette and his notebook. He walked toward the abandoned enclosures. The iron bars were rusted and overgrown with weeds. Suddenly, a stench of rotting meat hit his nose. The air grew heavy. His sixth sense screamed at him he was not alone. Then, a sound echoed from a stone cave. Scrape, scrape. It sounded like a fingernail dragging. Michael froze and shouted,
Who's there?
No answer. He shined his flashlight into the dark cave. Inside, huddled in a ball, was a figure. It looked like a man, but covered in thick hair and wearing tattered rags from the 1800s. Michael stepped back in terror. The figure slowly stood up, towering nearly 7 feet tall. Its face was human, but its eyes were pure white voids with no pupils, and a twisted, unnatural grin. Locals called this the cursed soul of Griffith Park. Michael turned and ran. Panic set in as he realized he was lost. Every tree and every cage looked the exact same. Behind him, heavy footsteps thumped, sounding like they were rising from the very earth itself. He finally spotted his Dodge Challenger through the fog, but his heart stopped. Sitting on the hood of his car was that very creature. It looked at him and muttered in a strange, inhuman tongue that made Michael's head throb with agonizing pain. He fell to his knees, screaming into the void. The figure slid off the car and approached him, dragging a heavy, rusted chain. Desperate, Michael threw a rock at the figure. To his horror, the rock passed right through its body like smoke. Seizing the chance, Michael scrambled to his car, dove in, and locked the doors. The creature was now at the driver's window, pressing its twisted, pale face against the glass. Michael twisted the key. The engine roared once and died completely. "Please start, please." The monster smiled from outside. It slowly raised a hand. It slammed its hand against the window. The glass cracked. Michael twisted the key again. The engine roared to life. He threw it into reverse and sped away, refusing to look in the rearview mirror, knowing if he did, he would never leave. He drove like a madman until he reached the safety of the city lights. Under a street lamp, Michael stopped the car to breathe. Soaking in sweat, he couldn't believe he was alive. His hands shook as he reached for a cigarette. Suddenly, his eyes were drawn to the driver's side window where the creature had slammed its hand. A glowing, pale handprint remained on the glass. 5 distinct fingers. But the print wasn't on the outside. It was on the inside. As if someone had tried to grab the glass from within, and the print looked like burnt, rotting flesh. Michael left Los Angeles that night and never returned. To this day, locals say if you walk near the old zoo late at night, you can still hear the scratching, and sometimes strange handprints appear on parked cars from the inside. That handprint was on the inside, which means maybe something is watching you right now from your own back seat. If this story gave you chills, hit the like button. Are you brave enough to enter the cages again? Then subscribe and turn on notifications before you hear the scratching on your window. Share this with a friend who drives alone at night. Warn them about Griffith Park. Until next time, drive safe and don't look in the rearview mirror.